So let's talk about this one, and I know you may not want to, but we're going to with our Patriots insider, Jeff Howe, who is down in Nashville. He, of course, from the Athletic Boston. You're looking striking today. Those are fantastic autumn colors. You look a lot better than the team played.
That's not hard. I mean, I could have shown up in a T-shirt and done that.
Let's talk a little bit about what we saw. I think what most people worry about is this a blueprint? Is this something we're going to see other teams try to do? And what do you think was the #1 thing Tennessee was able to do this afternoon?
I mean, it's hard to just say there was one thing because it was really everything. I think Tom Brady put it best. He said they all had a bad day. I mean, this is the rare instance of somebody actually taking a trip to Nashville and having a horrendous time. Tom Brady had pressure in his face all day because the offensive line wasn't doing a good enough job protecting him. You know, some of that could be attrition, injuries, especially at the tackle positions. Trent Brown had an illness. Marcus Cannon had a calf issue sort of pop up again just for a quick spurt. So, you know, there were issues there. It's a long stretch. The Patriots have had 10 straight games now without a break going into this bye week. So, you know, how much of that was a factor? But look, you still have to come out and counter those things. I thought Josh McDaniels had a poor game. Really didn't get the screen game involved until it was too late, midway through about the third quarter, which is something that you really have to get going when, you know, Brady can't count on the line to protect long enough for his receivers to get open down the field. So, I mean, there was a third down, I think it was a 3rd and 4 play call that called for a fade down the sideline to Josh Gordon. It's like, why was that the best option in that scenario? You know, you have a 4th and 1 situation and Marcus Cannon has a false start. So really a bad day across the board for the offensive line. And then defensively, I mean, Stephon Gilmore has been as consistently solid all season long as anybody on the entire roster, and he had statistically his worst day in coverage during his year and a half as a member of the Patriots. So they couldn't convert on 3rd down. A lot of it was play calling. They couldn't stop guys on 3rd down because of execution. So, I mean, it was just, if this is a blueprint, then, I mean, yeah, the opponents have to really start counting on the Patriots not showing up the final 6 games. Obviously, that's not going to be the case.
Let's talk about Julian Edelman, because it's disconcerting anytime you see him hobble off the field, and that was the case. He was asked specifically about the ankle. What I give him credit for, Jeff, he was in a bad mood, and I kind of like that. You know, I'd be in a bad mood, too. If my team played the way that his team played today, I'd be in a bad mood, and I wouldn't be all jolly with the media as well. But let's get into the issue of his ankle. What do you think? I mean, you get concerned when you see him hobble off the field like he did.
Yeah, because this has been an issue for a few weeks now, and just, you know, minor things at this point, but when you have to check out of the game in the 4th quarter to go get it checked out in the locker room, I mean, again, that's not something that you really want to see happen for a guy who has had to take on the brunt of the offense, especially with Rob Gronkowski now being out 3 of the last 4 games. The bye week is coming at a perfect time for him. He thought that, hey, you know what, maybe it'll be a little sore tomorrow. The positive thing on that side of it was Julian Edelman did re-emerge from the locker room and finish the game on the sideline. But again, with Gronk and Edelman needing to, you know, just get that extra stretch of days to get back to full strength, Sony Michel, same thing with him. I mean, again, you're going to look at a healthier team coming back from the bye, and the schedule's not as hard in those final 6 games either.
7-3, I couldn't think of a better time for the bye to hit. Are you in agreement with me on that? Because this team just needs to regroup mentally, physically, and they've got a tough stretch to finish off this season.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the injuries, of course that's going to help, but they need some self-reflection. I mean, this is the 3rd time already this season that they've been at least uncompetitive to at least completely blown out on the road. I mean, just a game that they had no chance of winning in the 4th quarter. So there's going to be a lot of self-reflection there. These guys doing everything they can over the course of the week to get themselves ready for a road game. Because right now, you're looking at the very real possibility of having to win at least once on the road in the playoffs. And then in terms of self-scouting, that's what this first week of the bye is going to be all about. And Tom Brady even mentioned that. The coaches are going to do a lot of self-evaluation, self-scouting, look at their tendencies. There are some predictable tendencies within their offensive system. And, I mean, there are times when you can see a running formation and you know a run is coming with Sony Michel. I mentioned, you know, I don't think this was Josh McDaniels' best day whatsoever. I mean, the only touchdown they scored was on a run to James Devlin, who hasn't touched the football, at least in a handoff, in 4 years. I mean, that's just not what you're looking for. Tom Brady said over and over again this season that, you know, the offense wasn't where it needed to be, but there were times when they certainly didn't make it look like that. I mean, they were having, in his mind, you know, incomplete games, and they were scoring 38 points. But the offense had a whole lot more of a difficult day against the Titans, and that's a playoff caliber defense that the Titans have. So they're going to have to beat some good defenses in order to get where they expect to be in February.
Jeff, appreciate the insight. As always, you can follow Jeff. He is the Patriots insider for us, writes for The Athletic Boston. Great job as always. Safe travel coming back home.
Thanks a lot.